I bid you welcome.
I welcome you to my house.
Welcome to my house.
Welcome to my home.
Hello horror hounds, welcome to my horror house. So I saw the new Scream movie last night and I must admit I was on a bit of a high after it. So didn't want to record any thoughts straight after. I wanted to sleep on it, let my feelings settle down a little, because there's some good and there's some bad, and as I got my thoughts in order again this morning, I finded myself getting G'd up and excited about it all over again. So I'll try and keep this as balanced as possible. I'll keep the first part completely spoiler free and signal very clearly when at the end of the video we're going to be talking about spoilers. But the headline is, I really enjoyed it. It's the Scream movie I didn't think we needed. It is absolutely not without its flaws. I suspect for the next couple of weeks or so there will be a lot of noise on social media, lots of I love it, lots of I hate it, it sucked, you know, the general kind of thing. I suspect that like part 4, its stock will rise over time and people will sort of come to appreciate it. My overriding feeling today is that I want to see it again, and I want to see it again as soon as possible, which is a really good takeaway from it, I think. I think some of the things I didn't like about it are just to do with newness, and once I get used to it and used to them being parts of the franchise, and new characters especially, that will settle down a bit. I think there are things I dislike about it that I will always dislike about it. But let's, in a non-spoiler way, talk now about Scream 2022, Scream 5, essentially. The joke in this particular film is that, and it gets a little convoluted, rightfully so, appropriately so, that the killer this time round is maybe trying to create a sequel, but the fans, they know that the fans won't accept completely new characters, a reboot, sorry, but they know that the fans won't accept completely new characters, so they have to get in some legacy characters in it to make it officially a sequel as well. And I think one of the joys about the Scream franchise is that you're almost given a hall pass to get away with this kind of stuff, because you can also just flat out say to the audience, yeah, this is what we're doing. That happens quite a few times in the new Scream movie, and they're being quite upfront about it, even down to the film being named Scream rather than Scream 5. My main worry was that it was a Scream movie without Wes Craven, and what I will say is that I think that the directors here have done a stand-up job at respecting the first 4 movies. These guys, I can't recall their names, but they directed Ready or Not, which is fantastic, so much fun, and they've kind of recreated the look of Scream, the look and feel of a Scream movie. If you want to watch them all in order, this one will not stick out like a sore thumb. It won't feel out of place. One area that the new Scream movie stands out for me is the kills. You'll hear this a lot. They're brutal, they're gory, and they really are, to the point where for a couple of the kills I was staring slack-jawed at the screen thinking, we're doing this, we're seeing this. Wasn't expecting that level of brutality at all. It's an 18 certificate movie for a reason, and I'm glad that we're not in a day and age like with Scream 3 where people were, movie companies were hand-wringing about violence on the screen and things like that, and we can just get a decent damn horror movie that's bloody and nasty. As alluded to a minute ago, the cast is a mixture. It's our new cast, our reboot cast, and our sequel cast, our legacy cast members. Of the legacy cast members, David Arquette gets absolutely the most to do, and he knocks it out of the park. If you've seen the trailer, you might have an idea of where the character of Dewey is when this film starts. It's not a comfortable watch. It's not nice to see him in that place. What David Arquette does with the time that he's got on screen is absolutely brilliant. Courtney Cox and Neve Campbell get much less screen time, and this is a hurdle that Scream, I wonder whether they'll ever be able to surmount it. I continued to be more interested anytime Sydney, Dewey and Gail Weathers were on screen than almost all the new ensemble cast. The real acid test, I guess, if they want to keep churning out Scream movies, is whether or not an audience will accept a Scream movie without Sidney Prescott, without Dewey, without Gail Weathers. And I'm not sure they will. For a film then that spends more time with its new cast, which I think it should, by the way, that new cast of characters are for the most part strangely underdeveloped. We really just focus on two new characters, sisters, one called Tara, who was attacked at the start of the movie, and the other, her elder sister Sam, who moved away from Woodsboro. Really is a tale of two sisters. I've got to say, for my money, Melissa Barrera, who plays Sam, who is our new lead, our new female central star, didn't gel with her at all. Didn't get her performance. Nothing popped from it. Her interaction with the rest of the cast and her interaction with the legacy cast, it felt awkward and it felt stilted, and there was I had no connection with her performance whatsoever. On the flip side of that, Jenna Ortega, who plays her younger sister Tara, really pops. One of my favourites, actually probably aside from the legacy, the returning actors. She's my absolute standout in the movie. I think she was great. There is some really funny stuff in here, and I think there is some stuff in here that will get funnier over time. This doesn't feel as comedic as some of the previous entries, but some of the comedy, some of the lines are so barbed and so pointed that I couldn't help but laugh out loud. There's a strange moment of solidarity with Rian Johnson in this movie that I wasn't expecting, and I found the motivation at the end for the murders. Personally, I thought it was hilarious. It will possibly piss off some people, and for my money that made me chuckle even more, because I think it's going to be pissing off all the right people. I've heard some criticism online already that the killer reveal is a bit lame. I think that's intentional. I'll get onto that in the spoiler segment. I'm being elliptical. So before I start talking spoilers, then I think it's really solid. I'm so keen to watch it again that I think that some of the things I didn't like about it will just sort of fade away over time and familiarity. At the moment, knee-jerk, having just seen it and on a Scream 5 high, from best to worst, I would now rank Scream as Scream, Scream 4, Scream 5, Scream 2, which has slipped a lot down the ranks for me, and Scream 3 at the end. Sorry, Scream 2, in this rewatch, you dropped right down. 2 and 5 might flip depending on what time does to 5 for me. But who knew? A Wes Craven free installment in the Scream franchise is a fit, works, and for my money is very, very welcome. Right, let's get on to some spoilers. Let's talk about the massive one. The returning character that we can't talk about in the spoiler-free segment, Skeet Ulrich. Billy Loomis is back. I did not see that coming, and was really Not sure how I felt about that at all. We find out that Sam is Billy Loomis's daughter. She's also on antipsychotic meds. She's having auditory and visual hallucinations of her dead serial killer father, urging her to kill people. It is Skeet. They do some deep fakery to make him look as close as they could to how he looked at the end of the first movie. You've got to feel for Matthew Lillard, who has been campaigning for years and years and years that Stu isn't necessarily dead and can come back. And the one killer from the first film that they bring back is the one that is definitely dead because he got shot in the head like an absolute trooper, as you would expect from Lillard. He's been tweeting his support of the movie. You have to feel for him just a little. What do I feel about Billy Loomis coming back? It's weird. It's a weird one. It leaves our nominal hero and survivor main star in a similar sort of place where we left Tommy Jarvis at the end of Friday the 13th Part 4. Ooh, is he going to be the new villain? Is Sam going to be the new villain? I doubt they'll go that route. It's a strange one. I'm not sure what more you can do with that beyond where you've already gone. But yeah, Skeet Ulrich is back. How about that? And Dewey won't be back. I suspected that they were going to kill off a legacy character. If it was going to be anyone, it was probably going to be Dewey. It didn't make it any less shocking when it happened. Yeah, David Arquette this time became the sacrificial lamb. He became the Randy. He I was talking about Scream 2, has its own identity, really stamped on it through killing Randy. And Dewey's gone, man. That was hard. The other thing that I was, from the trailer, really, really trepidatious about was the brief shots of the metal-masked ghost face with a flamethrower. That was one of the funniest parts of the movie as far as I was concerned. That turned out to be a clip on YouTube of Stab 8 that people were tearing to pieces because it's completely different from all the previous Stab movies and just ignores all of them and goes off on its own crazy direction. Then you see a clip of metal-faced Ghostface with the flamethrower. And then the YouTube commentators are saying, and come on, calling it Stab, it's clearly Stab 8. It's obviously Stab 8. All the stuff that happens in the film makes it feel like you can't really criticise too much about this new Scream movie because in a lot of ways, they've already got there first. I personally think that was the scriptwriters saying, yeah, we would have really liked to have called it Scream 5, but that got nixed. We were told it had to be called Scream, and I think that's probably to do with money men with spreadsheets and brand recognition, and people won't go and see something marketed as number 5 when these kids haven't even seen the first 4 in theatres and maybe haven't even seen them all at all anyway. I think that was our filmmakers going, if we could have, we would have called it Scream 5. And then they put in characters' mouths, come on, everyone knows it's Stab 8. Sidney Prescott takes absolutely no goddamn prisoners in this one. Calling for anyone to come out, killer or anyone hiding. She Oscar Pistorius's fucking doors. She shoots through fucking doors after calling out warnings. She is fucking out for it. No question. Her and Gail at the end, they want to kill this motherfucker. I think the motivation of enraged fanboy nerdery is actually pretty fucking funny. The reaction to the two killers seems to be that Amber is pretty good. She's just a fucking psycho, and that the guy, sorry, I forget his name, played by Jack Quaid, is just maybe a little bit lame. He's playing it for laughs. He's not threatening and that. I honestly, I think that that's all intentional. It's undercutting his angry fanboy nerd rage. He is a little bit lame. I think he's lame because he's the ultimate entitled fanboy. His line, was it toxic fandom? How can something that comes from a place of love be toxic? It tells you everything you need to know about him. The location reveal at the end was done, chef's kiss, just beautifully. They've shown you the house, they've shown you the locations, they've shown you the setups, they've even recreated shots from the original movie. The house is just decorated differently until the penny drops. You know where they're at, then you see the staircase. Oh my god, that's the staircase. Oh my god, that's the couch, that's the living room. Holy shit. We're in Stu's house from the end of the first film again. I thought that was superb. It pays so much respect to Wes Craven and the first 4 films. Damn, I had fun with it. The lead ain't great. Some of the dialogue is really clunky. Some of the characters are really undercooked. But talking about it now has fired me up to want to see it again. Damn, it's a hit. It's a hit for me. She Oscar Pistorius' fucking doors.